I think we'll do Sunday. I think we'll do a Sunday stream. But do you consider Sunday the start of the week or the end of the week? So, I don't know. I should have probably done Tuesday, but we needed to clean on Tuesday. Oops. Anyways, let's start. We were proved not guilty, but we never figured out what the fuck happened in that coach. So, I don't know. I had to manually save because stream was really broken last time. So, hopefully I won't have that problem today. I'm hoping not, at least. Alright. This grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have, after all. I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guineas for your trouble, fella. Oh no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. I'd be wist you're the humble people, aren't ye, you from the east? Well, if you insist. I have this still in all, you deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Hi, Ari, how are you? Everything is ready, sir, if you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I'm sleepy today, too. I'm, like, really sleepy. I haven't had time to nap, though. I'm jealous. I'm a little jealous. But you're also later in the day. So maybe after stream I'll nap. I thought I was hungry, and then I had oatmeal with peanut butter and yogurt, and it, wasn't that, so I am just sleepy. I had an espresso, though. So I don't know. I'm a little sleepy today, too. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Actually. Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. Inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again? Now? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing me best to help where I can be. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so 'tis. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. We got new sheets for this bed. That's like over here or whatever. And Hobart looks awfully cozy laying in them. The comforter's still drying, but he looks so cozy. I want to be that cozy. I need to move my mic around, but I didn't want to do that before stream. And it's like really driving me nuts today. Look, it's even moving. Alright, what's the next case gonna be like? Because I feel like he might be involved. And there he goes. Free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Lady, chill out. Don't move. Whereas I want to say, get a move on? She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. Sorry. And I ate. What did I give her? And I ate all grown-ups. I don't remember what the voice I gave her. That's Herlock Sholmes, isn't it? I forgot how to do a British accent. Ah, there you are. No, that's not Herlock. Okay. Not T, running off like that. She's definitely Cockney, right? Hello, Tim. She's definitely Cockney. I get that. I'm kind of forgot how to do anything. Who is this little girl? Is this some kind of picnic? Who is this? I think Ryunosuke is just me. I'm just like him for real. Hi, Necrocade. How are both of y'all? How was y'all's Wednesday going? Are they related to Herlock? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Y'all can just bring weapons into places? What the fuck? I'm so sleepy today. I was just talking about how sleepy I am today. I haven't even done that much work, but I've been doing a little bit of cleaning. I feel like I could argue that Jeremy's been cleaning the house a little bit more today, though. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to get her TREAATS. I forgot to grab them. They're downstairs. Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. You won't beat me. Excuse me, but who are you? She's got little hearts. That's so cute. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor. Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself. Do we have to be shrouded in smoke at all? I just took my eyes off of it for a moment whilst I was changing onto different omnibus and she pinched it. Gotcha. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. A what's it? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Okay, so she has nothing to do with her. Gotcha. Anyway, she makes stuff for her lock. Gotcha. I gotcha. Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. What for? To apologize, of course, silly, to my technician. What? You mean say sorry? Sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. Man, I miss this. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Adults. Come along then. Follow me. Fine. Have it your way. Oh, good. You see, I knew you wanted to do the right thing in the end. I'm fairly sure that what she wants is to not get shot. What is going on? All right. We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss. What is going on? She was a lively one. Well, there she was. Hi, Juju. And she's gone. Do you think perhaps we got to be on our way now too? Yes, you're right, but where to? Oh, we haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. Just sleep on that couch. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. Oh my god. Out with the puff of smoke. Just wild. I want to know. I want to know. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings, but at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck. Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park. I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. How are you, Juju? I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilda down. Work is busy. Are you sleepy today? I feel like everyone's a little bit sleepy today. It's been a little sleepy. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or mansion. Man, I really was just like 5 minutes. And so I didn't want to stream to end like that last Monday, but I had to. Apparently I was like 7 minutes of internet problems, so it was great. I can't afford to be sleepy. I can't either, but here I am, dying. Trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead, just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned. The case was far from over. I had a feeling. My neighbor, she got like a boyfriend.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water! Quick!
Huh, that's sus.
What the? How did this happen? I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed. No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
There's someone in there?
No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
This can't be.
They didn't have to make him so hot. They really didn't. I don't got fire extinguishers. I thought those were old. Maybe I don't know shit. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying before that. Oh, I did 7 minutes of internet problems. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna guess our internet got overloaded. Who was in the omnibus? Why are they dead? Who was it? I don't know. It could be anyone. It could be a made-up person that we haven't met before. My bangs are driving me nuts today. Tim. The adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Is that how you pronounce that? I finally watched the Tears of the Kingdom trailer. I'm like, wow. Wow, that's way more interesting of a game now. What do we got here? We got... That's the like justice guy. And then what an interesting chair for like an office. My neighbor is being really loud right now. There's like music pounding outside. That's what I was talking about. Her boyfriend is very loud when he works on stuff in the garage. I'm like, you, like, it has not been loud. I think I've been the loudest neighbor. Barely even, though. Because when Jeremy plays his trombone, it's kind of loud. But other than that, my nose is like running, but not. It's like really crappy right now. So it's like banging outside. Like, brrr. I'm black-pilled about Tears of the Kingdom. I really don't know if I'm gonna like it. What does black-pilled mean? What does that mean? Blackpink? What does that mean? Maybe I don't know shit. I'm like in despair and doubt. You're in doubt? I was like thinking about it. I was like, I could see this actually making a shit ton of people excited and a shit ton of people not excited. It's literally incel language. Oh, I'm not an incel. That would make sense. That would make sense. I like when I saw that what the things you can do, I was like, there is gonna be people who don't like this kind of gameplay. Because I thought it was interesting because how Breath of the Wild went, it was really interesting to see people like be creative. Like they were really fucking creative with this game. And some people argue the game forces you to be. And I'm like, no. It does not force you to be. I like in the way that people were being creative. It does not force you to be like that. So I thought it was interesting that this second one is like really taking the creativity and turning it up. Like you actually have to be creative, I think. It's like throwing it in your face that you need to be creative. And I think that is a wild choice, and I like that, but I could see why people wouldn't. Was exploring, even though her role is going to be different, F-Scare won't be different. I'm kind of nervous about what is going on. Like, I don't like story-wise what is happening here. Why would this game be different than the first one? Why does Link look like that? Kind of thing. I'm kind of worried about that too. All the cities change a lot. If they change a little, it'll be very right. Like I'm a little worried that we're paying $70 for reused assets. When people argue, well, reused assets are fine to use, and I agree they are, because I mean I reuse post sets and stuff sometimes. So like I get it. That's me being empathetic, but I do think paying $70 for that is kind of fucking crazy. If it is just a lot of reused assets, like the whole game. Hi, random. I never owned, so I'm fine with it. That is wild. Have you never played it, Tim? I think a lot of people actually, I've realized, have never played it. I thought everyone almost has played it who has a Switch, but no. But I could argue that most people probably have played Animal Crossing more than Breath of the Wild, but that was a product of its time. I would have absolutely no problem with reused assets if we were in Termina or some other hole. Right, because like if it is just like Hyrule copy and pasted, pff, yeah. I didn't play Breath of the Wild until 2020, beat it right before the pandemic. Right before the pandemic, you're like, damn it. When the pandemic started, it's like, damn it, I could have used that time too. I guess Animal Crossing though. Animal Crossing was my fucking shit. There's gotta be a story, I just don't know what it is. There always will be. I think there always will be. But like, I'm like, I just don't know they didn't say anything about the story, which I thought was interesting. I do get more, people are like saying Skyward Sword before this trailer came out. I do get Twilight Princess more, a little bit. But I do see a lot of people not liking the more creative pushes, because unfortunately not everyone is creative, like thinks outside the box like that. So, I don't know. Anyway, start this case. I played it on release with a friend, but I played Zelda for story and dungeons, but kind of like, you had to go searching for the story for sure. I will say that in Breath of the Wild, you had to go really searching for it. I'm not surprised they are either, but like a little bit of motive would be interesting to hear. That would be pretty cool. I don't want to get my hopes up. That's why I don't really hope for things in games. Because I'm scared. I don't want to be disappointed when it's not that. Alright, let's start it. Let's start. I haven't played Apollo Justice in days. I've been like really stressed. I have a lot of home stuff going on, so I feel like I just have not played games the last like 3 days.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction.
How do I pause?
Indeed.
How do I pause? I guess that's the best way to pause. Huh? Hello, Ina. How are you? What were you playing? I'm gonna shout you out. Don't shout yourself out. Go follow Ina. I made Ina's emotes. Go follow. Were you playing FIFA? I knew it. I knew it. Ah. How was FIFA? I'm doing pretty good. We're talking about Tears of the Kingdom because the trailer was kind of is it a trailer? I don't really know what to call it, but whatever it was, I watched it today. I was kind of excited about it. A little excited. I'm gonna enjoy it and have it be in my life forever. See, I'm scared. I'm scared it's not gonna be as good because it isn't revolutionary. I don't know what they will do to make it revolutionary, but I don't really have doubt in the Legend of Zelda offices for it to be revolutionary. I don't know what I want. I don't know. A gameplay showcase, yeah, something like that. Won 6 matches and drew one. That's really fucking good. I would want to be on your soccer team. Or football. I'm scared that it's bad that the Breath of the Wild nostalgia goggles will be ripped off whenever we start hating it. I think that is what I'm scared of too, because like a lot of people are already starting to not like hate Breath of the Wild, but like are more critical of it now that's been like 6 years. Because at the time it came out, people were amazed by it. I mean, Jeremy is amazed by it. Like, even though he's playing it for the first time, he's like, this is amazing. So like, I think still people, when they first played it, are like, wow, you know. But I think the nostalgia goggles, because like I do have like some critiques of it, like how annoying what weapon breaking is still. I'm like, I get it, but it's so annoying. And I hate any game with stamina. Even Genshin, I hate that Genshin has stamina, and I love that game, but that is one of my biggest critiques. I'm like, but I get why, because they want you to limit your area. I get it. I understand it. Doesn't mean I can't hate it. I love that it's telling me to stand. I'm not standing right now. When the stick broke, my heart did. We have to be on VC to explain to you my thoughts on weapon breaking. I get it. So it's because you need to be more creative with using your little tablet. I get it. I get him. I kind of hate it though. But I don't know what other way. Everything has a reason for Breath of the Wild, and that's why. And I think things are supposed to be annoying for a reason. It's kind of like in books. Some books are meant to make you uncomfortable. Like, not every book can have a good ending. Not every book can be... Oh, I forgot to do captions again. Why didn't the bot yell at me? It's interesting. I can't be creative with toys if they break. Alright, let's watch the cutscene. No, I don't want to skip this. I just need to pause.
The story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea.
Herbal.
Leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening.
Who is that?
To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road.
Who is that?
And to the knife in her back.
I think I know this Sherlock Holmes story.
Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Huh. That I'm along the same thinking as you, Juju. Like, I know why we needed it. I get why we needed it. But I am kind of shocked that it's in the second game. I am kind of shocked that it's in the second game. Weapon durability. But I am interested in the fusing of weapons. I think that's a really interesting idea. But I know my dumbass, I don't know if it's my dumbass or my really outside thinking sometimes, is I'm going to want to fuse two things that aren't going to be fusible, and that's going to break my heart. That is going to break my heart. My cricky ass. No, you know what I mean though? There's going to be something that I can't fucking fuse together. It's going to piss me off. I don't want to spend $70 on this game. Oh my gosh. There's stuff in my teeth. Why didn't y'all tell me? Thank you, Juju. It's from not Hot Topic. I think it's from Target actually. I love this. It's a little staticky because it's really dry. It's fleece. I think it's like inside is sort of fleecy. So it's really staticky. It kind of drives me nuts. The only time I want to wear it is because I'm cold and I'm like, oh, I hate static. Well, fleece is perfect. All right, it's the 19th of February. I don't remember what day it was. Okay, well, she's not dead. That's good. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? It's been one day. Oh, okay, that works. No, not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious, I felt like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gas lights twinkling... Oh my gosh, my throat. And with all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day, even in the middle of the night. What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Berdia, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. That makes sense. Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except... when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Is guineas less than £1? What the fuck is a guinea? Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. No, head empty moment. In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money will put a roof over your head for a whole year. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. Oh, she's crying. I really am sorry. What happened? Could they not afford it? Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away. They went through their whole budget, is what I'm kidding. I don't care the old-timey British money. They still use pounds, but I don't think anyone says guineas anymore. Right, $1 is a lot. Right, yeah, I get that. I just didn't know. I thought they... How much money did McGilda give them? I know he turned it down. Does Ireland use the same money system? I guess so. That would make sense. But I don't know. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. Okay, they did blow through their budget. London is a scary place. I forgot about this, but in the US in the 1880s, so sort of around this time period, the US had done the China Exclusion Act. The Asians were going through a lot in this time period with the West. Good morning to you at this early hour. I feel like he's gonna be a bad guy or something. Oh yes, we are, well. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. She's amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart. Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices. Yeah, it was very, eye-opening, thank you. And in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end. Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh? Did it count if things were not right? No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land. Thank you very much. So I'm a lawyer now? He said, you didn't even need to take the bar. You're good. Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem. Why are you twisting your clock so much? Clock! Another case already? Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I? It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for? Not to let a murderer go free, I guess. The culpability of the defendant had not at the present time been established by the court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. That is really sus. Right? I just can't help wondering. If Mr. McGilda really was innocent, why the fuck did he act like that? Mr. Naruhodo. It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. Ascertain, right? And then the trial ended. There was my first word that I'm like, what? Well, I feel like I've actually never read the word. I've only heard the word, which is like the opposite of other problems I've had, where I usually read the word and never hear the word. Well, we got a bath today. She was a very good girl. Like, we had to give it to her. We couldn't fit her in the groomer in time, so we had to do it ourselves. Well, you wouldn't let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? Come here, mamas. Magnus McGilda passed away immediately following the trial. Did someone murder him in the omnibus? What the fuck is happening? No. What? Mr. McGilda is Dead? Oh, why do you have birds in your house? I'm slipping. What the fuck? What is happening here? I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk. Okay. I like how it makes me do it this way. I think that is like so funny that Ace Attorney still makes you do it this way. I don't understand what happened. How can he be dead? After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom. Yeah, of course. That was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilden had been accused of. Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some of the other matter, the omnibus went in flames. No. How could such a thing have happened? That is being investigated as we speak, but already the police have identified a corpse found inside the charged shell of the carriage as that of McGilden. It's like hurting my diaphragm to speak as this man, so I'm gonna chill out on the voice acting for a second. I don't know, I wasn't realizing that I've been actually talking with my diaphragm for some characters, which is kind of wild. I don't know if we do that all the time. You usually sing with your diaphragm, so that's probably why I feel so tired after. Like I feel weird. That's awful. The man must have slipped inside while the bailiff's attention was elsewhere. Why did the bailiff suck? That's what he said. And how could that have happened? That is also being investigated as we speak. Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, McGilden did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus. Well, yeah, I must be making tracks now. Tim's time for this inspection. What inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could present it for myself. I told you, sleepy. An inspection of the omnibus. Not to my knowledge, I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. But then who was McGilden talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police. Poor Mr. McGilden. Why are we talking about the British court? So, how did you find your first taste of a country Supreme Court? Well, I don't know. I mean, it was... Wow! Mr. Naruhodo means the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity. Interesting. Of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. Wow, Suzato-san has such a way with words. She's your assistant, of course she does. And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones. The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. The most advanced in the world. Was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair. Simple? That was simple? As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose. I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case was anything but simple. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. He's giggling. Is something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talents, wouldn't you agree? Well, I don't know about that. Well, never mind. Oh my gosh. I can't stop yawning. You exceeded my expectations. I freely admit that much, at least an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before. What's going on? What is he going to say before? Do we get to investigate? My bangs are kind of stupid today. I'm mad. Could you perhaps give us more details about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me it's a murder. And the trial starts in 10 minutes. Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different. I see. Did he just read my mind? That is to say, no one has died as yet. I thought the trial will not be today. There's plenty of time to research the case. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. So the trial's tomorrow then. Is everything alright? Oh yeah, I'm confused, that's all. Yesterday's trial was, well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. Mr. Naruhodo, I don't know if I could stand facing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilda's trial. I nearly forgot, there's one similarity with yesterday's case. There is currently no one to advocate for the defense. The situation remains unchanged. The trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. If that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome. The most terrible end awaits the defendant. Yes, that's right. Here we go again. Your time is up. You will have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. There's now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits. Last time you mentioned the 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time. And one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. There's something I should like to ask you. Oh, what's that? Yesterday, you remarked upon something. That you tend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asagi. Asagi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds. Oh, well, Kazuma always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how to be the greatest justice, or how the greatest justice system in the world works so he could change hours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing. Oh? Another thing. Continue. On the way here, on the steamship, he said something to me. There's something very important that I have to do. Something very important, and what exactly would that be? He never had a chance to say. I suppose he would have done if he'd ever made it to. You're out of time. Well, thank you for an enlightening discussion. What's all this about? Mr. Asagi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me, because you're not his boyfriend. I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. I'll be able to apprise you of the details. Has he been there the whole time? I don't know. So I wish you the best of luck. And bid you farewell. Baby girl. Another baby girl. There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we had better talk to the detective, don't you think? Yes, you're right. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us. Got French fries? What is he eating? What is that? Is that fish and chips? Is that what the British call fish and chips? Is that what that is? An infinite supply of fish. Could we trouble you? What? I don't know if I can do a British accent today. My throat's hurting. What do you think? Lovely weather, isn't it? What's the weather got to do with anything? Give me... Let's... Oh my gosh. Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English drink eaten out of your hand, you know. Sada-san told me it was foolproof. Okay, Chimkin. Little Chimkin man. I'm a busy man, a very busy man. There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to. I'm hydrating. My posture's actually pretty good. My feet are on the ground. I'm sitting on a pillow. I'm good. I do like a good fried fish. Maybe the British were on to something with fish and chips. Maybe they were on to something. Actually, a good stretch break is a good time for me to go get Chloe's TREATS. So I'll be right back. I stand. It's really cheap. Say less. I'm going. Alright, I got a pot. Oh, run. I forgot about that. His theme is really good. I like it. I like the theme. I got a soda too, cause maybe I just need a little wake up. This time cherry Coke. Which was cherry vanilla, but where's vanilla? Why is there a vanilla Coke shortage? What is going on? I need to move that out of the way so I can read. Okay. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. Can you imagine what the other officers there will be saying? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. And all because of some bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country I've never even heard of. You never heard of Japan? Interesting. Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard going to Tatus. Tatus! Just don't need to rip us apart. What do you think it was? Like a penny? Back in the day, fish and chips. I'm so hungry. I don't believe we've been introduced. I know I was perfect posture and now I'm not anymore. Hold on. Now I am. Let me move my little Pikachu. Tuppence. This is Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer. He's gonna be like, that's too hard to say. Eh? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Sue. Eh? It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it? Oh, did he think they could understand and speak English? It's unseasonably fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine. Unbelievable! How did she pull that off? So, Lord Strongheart has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson, Inspector Gregson. To you, I'm from Scotland Yard. Gregson. Oh, he just doesn't want to be mean. Gregson. Inspector Gregson. Gregson. That is such a British name. Hold on, I'm rolled over on my stupid fucking headphone cord. I hate when I do that shit. And then it pulls it off, and And I can't hear anything. Okay, I'm scooting over. I'm scooting over. I kind of wish I got a hair clip. Oh. Y'all didn't see that. Oh, what's the matter with Susato-san? I don't fucking know. Does she have a crush on him? Oh, this white man? Does this detective's name mean something to her? And the Holmes story is a rival detective, but don't look him up because this one's ironically more What? All right, I won't look anything up. I'm not gonna look anything up until we beat the both of them, both games, I think. Let's ask about him. Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson? It looks like a corn dog. I'm like, that's not a corn dog. You're acting like you know this man, Miss Susato, but he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him very well, in fact. Very well. Yeah, he's featured prominently in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, in that publication. What's it called again? Ranced magazine? That's right. Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful, friendly rivalry. You rival the great Mr. Sholmes. That's incredible. Well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time. Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. You think that man can compliment someone? You think Sholmes can compliment someone, girly? Gregson is pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those were his own words. Oh my god. That's his highest praise? Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see. That he is not, and thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now. That's great, isn't it? I have to admit that to start with, I was a little, well, flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand. My reputation at the yard went through the roof. That's wonderful. No, it's not. There's nothing more sinister than a man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. Rumors? Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head, stuff like that. Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean things about you? Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying. But I know what folk are like. I'm sure what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. Is eggs? I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Eggson? Oh dear, perhaps the sunrise to fame does change people. What's in your hat? So, about the case that the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Nothing to tell, really. As far as we're concerned, at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. Oh dear, that probably means that as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. I wish you were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Oh, it literally is the case. Okay. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she's still laid up in the hospital unconscious. Okay. So not a murder case, but an assault case. That's despicable. What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind? I suppose you would have finished whatever it was off with the Susato takedown, would you? That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo. Brace yourself, Ryunosuke. You've angered her now. Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest. So there must have been something left at the scene that led you directly to the culprit. Hi, Chris. How are you? I should have grabbed a Crustable. Now I'm thinking about it. Oh well. Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question? Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one. Sorry. There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now. I'm doing good today. I'm a little sleepy. I've been excited to play this game though. Whatever not. Simple. Oh, I want enchiladas. I miss good enchiladas. I got bad enchiladas recently. Like, they were so fucking bad. I feel like I can't get a good enchilada here. I don't know why. Because it's not like it's hard to make a good enchilada, I feel like. Like, doesn't it feel bad when the Mexican restaurants here don't taste as good as a fucking chain in Texas that makes enchiladas? Like, it feels real bad. It feels real bad. The prosecutor that's been assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Barak von Zeeks. Yeah. Oh no. Sounds like you've heard of him then. I want some enchiladas. Oh yeah, we are very... But they can make good tamales and good other stuff, but not enchiladas. They don't make a good sauce with enchiladas, I've noticed. And then the meat's kind of bland, I think. But I digress. Oh yeah, we are very familiar with Lord von Zeeks. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself. The Reaper of the Bailey. I fucking love Mexican food. It's my favorite food, I think. I mean, yeah, I would argue that Mexican food is my favorite food. I would argue it. I feel like I can never make it as good at home though. But it's still good, but not as good. But I think I would argue that Mexican is my favorite food. Like, favorite food genre. With a close second being American breakfast. I do love an American breakfast. The Reaper of the Bailey. Makes me sad that I feel like I just can't get like Mexican fusion foods. They just don't taste good up here, which is probably because we don't live anywhere near Mexico. So give them treats. I can do that. My watch just yelled at me, but I don't know why. Hobart's treats. Oh, I think she's looking out the window. Oh. Chloe! Right here! Right here! Good job, mamas. She doesn't want to get on the bed. It's open! It's open. Oh, these guys are little. They're like really tiny. They're really tiny. So I'm gonna give her a few. Okay, can you shake? Good job. Can you lay down? Lay down. Good job, mamas. Hobart! Come here, Kiki. Come here. Why do you like to walk over my power cord? It makes me nervous. Alright. Treats are given. I will hydrate. I did just take a walk for my stretch. What kind of enchiladas were they that you had, Chris? My favorite enchiladas were actually from a restaurant called Trudy's. I think they closed down. And I know they're a chain. My mom used to work at one actually back in the day. They had a Suiza enchilada and it came with like a picadillo. And then it was like a sour cream and like tomatillo and maybe a green pepper. I don't remember if it was jalapenos or serranos. But that was my favorite fucking enchilada that I've ever had at a restaurant. Plus, like, oh, it was so good. But I can never go wrong with a red enchilada, so. Some beef ones. I love beef. I don't typically like I don't like chicken enchiladas, actually. I don't usually go for them. I will eat them, but I don't really like them. There's a restaurant, I shit you not, right down the street, and they make them. Oh. I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. I do be loving enchiladas. Better than my mom's. Sometimes things are better than mom's stuff. Sometimes. We faced in the court. I know who Lord Beric von Zeeks is. I'm not stupid. Mr. McGilda told us about him before the trial, didn't he? Why are they acting like I didn't just spend all day with this man, arguing with this man? They called the accused as sacrificial lambs. And in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. The Reaper of the Bailey nickname. I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. He's like, yes, dumbass. Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord von Zeeks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty. And what of it? Oh, well, I think that means even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant. No, you really don't have a clue, do you? What do you mean? What happened to that bloke in the end, eh? He's dead. He drank his blood! That what just happened? Oh. Madness McGilda came a cropper in that omnibus when it went up into flames. Who killed him? Will we ever find out? Just so you can't rightfully say you saved the defendant, can you? What are you saying? Look, if Van Zeeks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker. That's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles. He works magic. Black magic. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you. Are we really supposed to believe that? Why do we have to do a flash like that? Right, well, I filled you in as requested and I'm very nearly out of chips. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying out a few investigations there. It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where? It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place. That's correct, Mom. If you head over the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself. You've branded him a criminal already. He's as good as shaking a leaf in his cell. Oh my god, can I fucking read today? Can I read? He's as good as shaking like a little leaf in his cell. He is. It'll give you a chuckle if nothing else. There we go. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way. Cannot read today. Can something else read for me? I get why this game actually would be really good if you had like other people like kind of doing like a table read almost. It'd be kind of fun, I think. Inmate 53. Goodbye. So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Mr. Naruhodo? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in the courtroom again is... I enjoyed watching Jello, Apocalypse, and his friends play this game, but also they're the most judgmental people in the world. They were constantly clowning and complaining. Oh no! No! I don't know if any of my friends actually like... I know one friend likes visual novels. I don't know if Jeremy would be down to do this. Jeremy? I don't think, though. Because Jeremy doesn't really like being on camera and stuff. Necessarily. I don't know. I play a very different games than my friends do. And the one game that I play that all my friends do is Fortnite. I haven't played it in a few days though. I'm lazy. And Genshin Impact. We play Genshin Impact. But that's not really a co-op game. As much as it likes to argue that it is. If you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage too. Why would I do that? But if the man they've arrested is innocent, you can well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in a cell. I, for one, wouldn't find that side of it funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. I'm really not sure if it'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. I like to try, so I think I'm gonna make some inquiries. Will you help? Can I read today? Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I am your judicial assistant. I feel like you haven't missed a lot, random. I feel like it's a slow start on this episode. Yes, let's go. Really slow start on this one, I feel like. Or I'm just taking forever to read. Should we meet the defendant or should we see the crime? It's been like a weird brain day today. Defendant? Okay. It's been a weird brain day. Okay. It's like Dragon Quest. Local prison cell 9. I thought he was inmate 53. So these... I think Jeremy's home. 3 days after your birthday. Oh, they're ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon. I mean, it is. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Wooden cells? I need to look up what a Japanese jail cell looks like. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo. You're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in this cell here. It's so dark at the back, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding at the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I a cat as yet with no name? Calling me by a number. It's utterly unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonably. I refuse to answer. Is it Herlock? Mr. Naruhodo, what? What do you think is going on here? Juju keeps saying I need to play Xenoblade to get more British media in my system, and I think that's hilarious. I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of compliments was in Japanese. Okay. So no. What is going on here? Japanese man. Excuse me? Shh, quiet. His face is painted interesting. What is he doing? They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening, even now. I can sense it. Is he okay? Are you okay, sir? Right, so could I ask you who exactly— there you are, you come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it, you're a ghost. A ghost. Interesting. What you mean you don't harm prisoner-san? Are you Japanese by any chance? Oh, now, okay, that makes sense. His eyes aren't as freaky. You can't just call people's eyes freaky. This is beyond my wildest dreams. Why does it fade to black like that? Forgive me for the outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We're just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it. It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So kawaii. So hearing the sweet sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice and hearing this damn dark hellhole was a honestly, as much as I like to be in the occasional hater era, I do really enjoy watching content where people— I tend to not like when people— I don't like watching content when people hate a game. Does that make sense? I am a person who likes to watch people enjoy a game, and if they don't really like it, I'm like, don't play it. Just don't play it. Did he dab? Oh man, did I miss it? I missed it a little bit. I am a person who enjoys watching people love games. I think clowning on it a little bit is fine sometimes, but I'm like I am a if you're not really liking it, don't worry about it kind of gamer. He'll do it again, God bless. Most monumentally moving moment. He's kind of got a lesbian haircut. Who could have guessed that this new client, Lord Strongheart, is assigned to us? It would be a Japanese man. Ah, what compassion my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. You're a student? Ah! Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nippon. A first-class lawyer? Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. Is he short? Is he as tall as Susanoo? Is this a short king? I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what's happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example? Yeah, I can. I will. Shan't stay sullen and silent. Everyone is short. Everyone is short. Isn't shortness actually like a more recent thing? Am I crazy? Weren't people naturally taller? Or is that just natural selection? Because I'm sad. I don't want to say natural selection. That's kind of icky. Actually, don't. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it. I swear I read something though that taller people were more like common. Maybe that was bullshit. I couldn't believe that was totally bullshit. Who does a little lying on the internet? A lot of people. As like more like they all hit their heads on ceiling fans inside out. Oh my god. I like playing games I love, but I also like getting out of my gaming comfort zone too. If I didn't, I'd miss out on. Right, I get that. You can't show that. Don't show it on stream. We are finally fully Minnesotan. Jeremy went to go get his Minnesota license plate. That's where he's been. We're finally fully Minnesotan. We don't stick out like a sore thumb. I swear that's a thing. Maybe no, because then our spine straightened out. And we got taller. I don't know. I'm 4'10". I'm just trying to justify why I'm really short, okay? I'm really short. I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yeah, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm a lawyer. As you said, my name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Become short. Was it shorter? Were shorter people more common? I don't remember. I swear it was taller people were more common. Like the average height was taller, but maybe I'm silly goose. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I know nothing. I'm like, I probably am making shit up. I love when people correct me. No, the internet! The internet, no! Oh my gosh. Jeremy turned on his computer and it just broke everything. Shit. Shit. Are we back? Okay, we're back. I'm gonna tell him he broke the internet. I feel like I need to pull up my own stream so I can see what's happening here. Oh yeah, the internet's being funky, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It got crunchy for me right after you know the internet. Napoleon was actually 7'2", but George Washington was actual 9'6", so everyone called him short, but like... I was like, what? Did you know there's like a fucking like 100, I don't remember the exact number, but there's a bunch of fucking Paul Bunyan statues, and there's like in this state. Sorry, I didn't complete that sentence. There's a bunch of Paul Bunyan statues in this state. So there's like tourist destination paths that you could basically follow to see every Paul Bunyan statue in the state. I think it's interesting. Was George Washington a shorty? Was he a shoddy? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I had it backwards. I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikatoba. I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Oh my god, he is dabbing. Oh my gosh. But a shoddy? I think Napoleon was a bad guy, but notorious. No, yeah, he's definitely a bad guy. Definitely a bad guy. But a short king. I know he... 5'6" is short, isn't it? He made Harvest Moon. This guy is real. He's a real guy. An author. I think that height thing might have been a little lying on it. I just think a little lying. 5'6". That's short. That's pretty short, right? For a man. If you were defending Mark Twain. Okay, that makes sense. Napoleon and Lord Farquaad. Short kings. I love short kings. Me. Notably, notoriously named Natsume Sozeki Natsume. I feel like he needs a baby girl voice. Natsume did actually study abroad in London. Was he framed for murder? Sozeki Natsume-san? What an unusual name. Why is that unusual? Call me Sozeki, please. I am a poet, you see, a writer of haiku. Something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? You mean an alias. Gotcha. Gotcha. That's right. Naruhodo-san? No, no, no! Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that. And haiku, that really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were visiting students and over here by the government? Okay, I don't need to have my stream open anymore. Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go study English. First, I had to suffer that misery, and now this. It's beyond the pale. Suffer that misery? Excuse me, did you not want to study here? No, I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. A misery, ooh woo. That's what we're gonna give him, sorta. Just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it, no. What do you mean? They told me to study English literature, that I could have understand. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I see. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on whitewashy. My brother and I do poses around the house sometimes. Very, is it poetic? He must be a man of great standing. Oh yeah! So, I'm often told. And often like to be told, it seems. Is he necking us? What does that mean? Am I stupid? His eyebrows are very funky. Could you perhaps tell us I'm one to talk. Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san? I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder. Murder? Oh no. No, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? When he does that, it looks like he's like what does that mean? They're watching, I guess. Oh no, he's messing with his bow tie and then his mustache. It doesn't look like he's actually touching it. Fuck! Oh no, the internet! Oh no! Oh man, I'll sit for a second. It's crunchy. We'll sit here for a second. I thought we were gonna be fine. I thought it was gonna be fine, and then the internet was gonna not do this to us. Jeremy's taking on the internet. Shit, it is pretty bad. It was a thing popular in high school when I was in it. It's really dumb. I don't know that. Man, I'm losing frames like crazy right now. Oh my gosh. Is it really gonna ruin stream again? I didn't see anyone. What? I'd seen the person who did it. So, not good. What is going on here? British governor. Seems normal. Is it just skipping frames? Maybe now it's starting. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Hold on. Oh wait, am I back? I think I'm back. I think I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Okay, whew. Whew. Refresh if you need to. Refresh. 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 Maybe? If you need to. Okay. We're back. We're back. I don't know what's going on. He's playing RuneScape, so it looks fine. It's just a little skip. Oh man! I had to say something. I had to open my big fucking mouth. I had to open my big fucking mouth. Oh my gosh. Why? What is happening? Why is this happening? What is going on? Why? It's gotta be internet. I hate Spectrum. Okay, it looks fine. It's just skipping a lot. I've dropped 6,000 frames. That's a lot of frames. If I'd seen the person who did it, who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here? Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. So Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. My phone just fucking turned off. Interesting. Oh, interesting. I'm like disconnecting from chat. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. That's how it's gonna be. It's vital that we find out more about the case. About the case. Tell me what happened and then I'll go check the thing. It was a cursed evening just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to a bookshop to buy some books and I was on my way back to my cursed lodgings. I'm sure the bookshop wasn't a curse too. As I was walking along that cursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her... she suddenly let out a scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Oh, yeah. How terrible. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my cursed lodgings. Yeah, that's sus. That's not good. They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours? Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know of these fair-haired English and a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. I see, a young woman unknown to Soseki-san. At the time it happened... Who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you? Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one. Oh, great. Internet! Okay. So the victim was unknown to you and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? What conundrum? Conundrum. Internet! Stop it! What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum? Well, if it's what Saseki-san has just told us in there, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen. I did. Oh no. It's going crazy. But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. Ah, you? What did you just say? Nothing, I didn't say anything. Oops, perhaps I thought that a little loudly. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Saseki-san actually come to be arrested? Sorry, he didn't touch the victim, there was nobody at the scene to see him, so how did the police ever discover that he was in there in the first place? Oh yeah, she's right. It was him, that accursed great detective. He led the police to me. Of all the bad luck. Accursed great detective. Could it be? She'll never forget that man's name as long as I live, with his haughty laugh and his self-proclaimed something. Rash, big-headed, busybody, begone. May you be accursed until the end of your days, Herlock Sholmes. I knew it. Mr. Sholmes? All my homies hate Sholmes. Is it just skipping a lot? Like, is it just frame dropping a lot? That's so weird. Why is it doing that? Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. It was the morning after the nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me. This is the police, put the weapon down. Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard. But I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting dietary discrimination devils. You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. There he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Herlock Sholmes. It's actually just Herlock Sholmes. He's English. I've since found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London. Yes, the great detective is really very well known. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman. Me, this weak, stooped kitten of a man. I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion this time. Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really mostly unreasonable. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. That's only natural. I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish, foreign, flammery. Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point, good point. But my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles. And before I knew it, I was thrown in here. Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. I'm fine. He's not fine now. It's red. Okay, now it's yellow. Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo, and when we're speaking English, the simple Mr. is more than enough. Oh yeah. Alright, yes, they've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well... Why? Why? Why is this so hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour. A student? I have defended a case in the Old Bailey. Only one, though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this court even means. Oh, Naruhodo-san. Not even the foreign student was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I suppose. But that armband, that's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire. It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend. A keepsake? I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, who do you mean? The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me. Goodness, why? Why do you say that? For the same reason as you noted before. When it happened, there was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them, somebody not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before in my earshot without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course, the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say that man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. Oh my god, racism. That's awful. They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I've traveled halfway across the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into my eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Soseki-san, it's just that... Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can for the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Oh yeah, thank you. I'll be there, all alone, waiting for you. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. What does that mean, Esquire? We should be going then, Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for. But I am a lawyer. Yes, the symbol of one of our great empire's first-rate lawyers. Which means, of course, you stand by my side, you'll defend me. That's not why I was showing you. Why was I showing it? Why else would you show me that? Oops, in hindsight, this probably wasn't the best idea. Alright, let's go to Briar Road. Why is the internet kind of funky today? It was fine. Jeremy's taking all the internet, apparently. Oh, I'm stretching. I don't want that to open. Oh, why do they keep frame dropping? That's so annoying. Alright. Water. Alright. And then... little bit of treats for everyone. Little bit of treats. Hobart wants a treat. Hobart's on the bed. Hold on. Oh, you can't freaking see him. You can't see him. He's got a little bit of bedhead going on. Hobart's a little sleepy man. As the internet chilled out, we've almost dropped 10,000 frames. Alright, that's it. I'm done. I don't got any more. We're on Briar Road. What is here? So this is where it happened. Briar Road. Look, Mr. Naruhodo! Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. To a real Bobby's helmet. What? What? The helmet? Of course. I have to try one on one day. Well, I hope your Hattie dream comes true. I don't think women could have been a police officer in this time. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. This isn't on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yeah, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells then. What did you make of the criminal? It's not a criminal as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Oh my god, he's racist. Everyone's racist. Do what you will, it doesn't bother me. The book's in court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion. The stone cold air of rejection. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. That makes it worse somehow. I don't really want to talk. I don't want to look around. Snowman. Hee, what a delightful snowman. I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making a snowman as well. It looks a little creepy though. Oh, that's a scarf. Look. You need one if you're out this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment. We certainly can't afford a scarf. You can't afford a scarf? Surely snowman here wouldn't miss his. But the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yeah, I know. You're right. Anyway. Even I've borrowed it. It wouldn't do... excuse me. It wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It was covered in snow. That's what I was thinking. Oh, it does have check marks. Oh, that's Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to the crime scenes and cart away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then. That would mean being arrested in order to ride it, wouldn't it? Still, it's the only way. Help me find a good stone. No, no, no. I wasn't serious. Guess we look at this man. That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I find myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic. God, I'm yawning so much. I'm so sorry. I think England has a little less sexism than America and Japan, but IDK, I just know that the queen was in charge, so they would probably be chill with a female in a higher career. I don't know. I don't know. I just know the monarchy is a very complicated thing, though. Monarchies are, in general. I just know they're more transphobic. And I know in England they act like they're not racist when they are. Like they're like, we're not racist like America. They're exactly the same as racist as America is. I don't know. Basically, as far as I know, gender and sexism and stuff is a white supremacist thing. I know that. It boils down to white supremacy and colonialism. So they don't have a history of slavery, yeah, and they turn around and be mean to Polish people. Literally. Self-awareness, Britain. At least some British people are like that. It's very wild. Oh my gosh. So I actually don't know, but I do feel like even though there's a monarchy, I do believe probably there was still like women can't be. And there's like women only could do this job, especially in the 1800s. It's wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does no favors at all. It's mask off racism, exactly. Yeah, literally the Romani people are a good example. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Do we have to... Okay, I can look at that. Oh, look at the windows of that building there. Are you sure they're windows? But they're filled in with bricks? Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. Why would they fill it in with bricks? There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. The bike. Oh yeah, the US has its problems too, though. Oh, a British bicycle. Although, the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. Seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. See, women weren't allowed to wear pants. The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you've ever tried walking on stilts and fallen into a river, I know you'd agree with me. Well, we'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. Phrasing. That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Well, times he can't ride a bike. My sister can't ride a bike. This is a call out. My sister does not know how to ride a bike. So I lost internet for like 5 minutes, and the greatest attorney keeps having technical issues with internet, so it's wonderful. But I did resume playing, so enjoy. Whew. Hopefully it works. Oh my gosh. I'm scared, I'm nervous. It completely crashed. Apparently was a like an actual like crash, not just us. Oh my gosh, we're back. Oh, I was so stressed. Why is the internet like this? Why is Spectrum like this? Why? Oh, lots of things are down actually. Interesting. Interesting. All right. It looks like it's actually more stable now, so that's interesting. Where were you? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, about bike riding. I guess, I don't know. The only reason I know how to ride a bike is because we won like a bike raffle. And, we all won a bike. Me, my sister, and my cousin all won a bike in a bike raffle while we were kids. And we got to like pick out a bike. And so we all learned how to bike. But my sister and my cousin had training wheels that you could take off. And then they learned how to ride. Well, my cousin did. I think she knows how to ride a bike. I don't think my sister knows how still. And she's never really had a chance to. So I get it, because bikes are kind of expensive. But it's very nice to know how to ride a bike. It's a nice thing. Yeah, the internet's more stable. All right. I'm thinking the bike was hit someone, but I don't know who. Or ran into a wall. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging. In fact, it looks decidedly worse shaped than the other houses around here. Oh, the houses. We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible. Yeah, you're right. It is a crooked house. You're right, cheap, but well, ideally with reasonably level floors. I don't know is that my parents are lazy, and that's very in character. Would probably happen to my kid also. I guess it's not like a necessary thing, is it? I don't know. Is it? I can see that modern day, like, kids that are raised up in today's age would not know how to ride a bike normally. I don't know why I think that though. Well, one, I feel like a lot of cities don't have proper bike trails. But I do think in this city that I live in, there's a lot of good bike trails. I have a bike. It's a heavy motherfucker though, and I kind of hate it. But it was free. I won it in a raffle too, but I don't really need it. But yeah, there are piles of snows on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks. Seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. London is made for foot traffic. That's really not bad though. I wish more cities were walkable. Soon disperses all of the snow. I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. Seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead. Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruhodo, and dressed all in black. A worried coachman might not see you, and you could be flattened by horses. Why Would you say that? Thank you for the rather small concern. What is this building? Clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? And with the dense fog as well, everything looks hazy. Well, it is known as foggy London town. London fog. You can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built though. Aha! Yes, that must be the Crystal Tower. Being built for the great exhibition that's open to the fucking poster. Apparently it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. It's to be the largest exposition in history, isn't it? Is it? Can't even begin to imagine it. Okay. Anything else to look at? I don't think so. Alright, I think we have to talk to the detective. The news is right here. It's a really lovely city, but apparently most of the taxes in Britain go to the expansion of London rather than the smaller towns in the country. Yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. The incident. Yes, it's very wide open space, isn't it? That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi! What are you foreigners doing here? Conspiring with that mustached fella from Japan, are ya? Conspiring? Come over here to destroy evidence, have ya? Get out of here before I give you an item. Go on. He shoot us away like rats. Yeah, we should give him a wide berth, I think. A wide berth? What a disappointing experience. What the fuck is a wide berth? Wide berth. Alright, I think we have to talk to Gregson. Just means give no space. Gotcha. That's a weird word. There's not enough walkable cities in America, I think. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place. Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world. An S instead of a Z. This is why I keep spelling things in my brain game with an S, because I've been reading too much of this game. You'll find anywhere in the world, Mom. Oh, and you know, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. Does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with this helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you. Really? Yeah, no shit. First thing in the morning, you know what he does. Goes round and rouses all the laborers on this beat so they can get off to work. I was like, they're literally investigating Susato. Do you think they're... I mean, they are just kind of standing there. So, you know what? Actually, she's right. What? He wakes people up? Yep. Raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit. That's interesting. Interesting. I think wide berth has to do with ships because I think it's another name for the front of the ship. So giving it a wide berth is safe for avoiding crashing into... Gotcha. I could believe that. Long pole did it myself going back a bit. It does sound like a boat word. I have no idea. The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. Then why didn't he see someone get murdered? Or try to get murdered? He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. I don't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. Alright. They wouldn't know miles either. What? They wouldn't know miles. What? Oh, really? What? Oh. Interesting. Okay. So they said, never mind, I don't want to use that. On foot? That's a lot of things. That's taking a step too far. I just realized why we're using miles. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. Oh, so he's an electrician now? Oh my. I don't know. 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 I suppose in between all the duties, bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well. And chase after criminals trying to evade the law, I guess. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. More alongside. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. I don't really care about the Scotland Yard. I've been around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just here on that big open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right that the lady's still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's been being treated in the hospital. I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find much about her at all. Suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's yard policy to give lawyers, defendants, suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. Local map has been added. I think the UK still uses Imperial for cooking. Really? I like to weigh my things. If it has a weight, I love that. I like when it's like weighed in grams. Especially for baking. I love using weight measurements more than like cup measurements and stuff. Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. Because I think like American stuff sometimes doesn't use grams. They only use like cup measurements. I'm like, no, some things need grams. Like a Barbie. Milliliters though, I don't know cup measurements to milliliters. As far as I know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is always also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. Right? Milliliters tiny, liters so big. Cups does kind of work as a middle unit, I suppose. I guess cups is fine. Quarts, gallon, pints. Confusing. Sorry I have to tell you, but we most certainly could be sure. How? Ounces? Ounces. How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. It what? We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less. Uh-huh. It's typical foggy London day and your client obviously didn't see them. There were witnesses? Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife. And the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard. Oh. A policeman. That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked. This is peculiar. Oh my god. Yawn counter. Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. I'm a little sleepy. Part and parcel of being a bobby, catching them bang in the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest, you could ask him what you like in court tomorrow. Oh my god. I have no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man. No. Policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult. Yeah, I know. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspect, I hear that was Mr. Herlock Sholmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks. He's mad that he couldn't find the suspect. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. he said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. Sure was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Fiddle faddle. Oh. I love Gregson. He's one of my absolute favorite characters. Really? The man's an amateur and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yeah, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gibble gabble! Oh. Ever seen this before? Oh yeah, that's Reinst magazine. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Herlock Sholmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Herlock Sholmes tale at all. The original Sherlock Holmes was published in the Strand magazine. They had to rearrange the laters to be well, I suppose there's an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us as Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? Well, makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper at the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all but a bit strange, though. Sorry. The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now. Yeah, we did hear something to that effect. And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals. The violent ones. That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. That's easy. What a loser. Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely. That's just my point, sunshine. The young woman who was stabbed, but it didn't kill her, couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to sink his teeth into. For want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, isn't it? No, there's gotta be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really gonna have to face the Reaper again, the Lord of Darkness, as he put it? We got one piece of evidence. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. I want to eat a fish and chip. Can I make a suggestion? Oh yeah, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Herlock Sholmes, exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Oh, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all of this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. The trouble is, I have no idea. It's Baker Street. Huh? How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 22221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find our way there before Suzato gets any more excited and unpredictable. Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage. So we're going to have a reunion already with the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I didn't even look at the map. Okay. Yeah. Let's go meet this. Go meet the detective. Oh, cutscene. Okay. That was Interesting.
Thank you very much.
It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Okay. Didn't they say up that street? They just turned around. This is okay. Home sweet. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Y'all just walked in? Just as described in the stories. Is it? Oh my god. Is it as described in the stories, Miss Susato? Susato-san? Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. I suppose they must have been, yes. I never read the stories, so it's hard to get quite as excited about. Oh, what? I'm so sorry. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? I suppose I can. So if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Is that little girl Wilson? Please don't mind. She's obsessed. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home. And y'all just walked in there? Excuse me, and is anybody home? That's wild. Oh, do we have a visitor? Hello, is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello? Aren't you? Oh, how rude of me. I'll go and make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. Miss Susanna, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. The King of Bowaria? Hi Tim, how are you? Well, Mr. Magnus McGilded is dead now, but we're not solving his case. The client is dead now. We got not guilty, but he is dead. I don't know. I have no idea. The omnibus went in flames. I'm assuming he was in there. He got murdered by flames. I don't know if they were trying to burn him or if it was like an accident. I don't know. We got pushed into this case with a poet, a haiku writer. He's Japanese, and he was the only person along the street with this lady, and then all of a sudden this lady has a knife in her back and fell to his feet. And then he ran home, and the only reason he was arrested was because of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. My bad. We worked so hard, yet he might have been the one who killed the man anyway, so it's fine. I guess you get what you get, you know. I don't know. We don't know who killed that man. And then we don't know who killed Mr. Magnus McGilded, so it's okay. King Wilhelm Gottschalk Sigismund von Ormstein, of course. I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there. The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly baked cake there as well. New song. Yeah, marry that. A little silly song. That is a silly song. It's you. I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. Oh my god. We were just there today, 2 hours ago. It's a girl who turned up at the end of Mr. What an interesting sound that just happened in my little head. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilda's trial in the defendant's antechamber. Yes. What is this? That is pretty cute. Jada Essence Hall-esque. Stop, that is so cute. Never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Or you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. Oh yeah, it was challenging. Well, it's little guys. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. Thank you. Is tea supposed to look like that? What does it look like? Oh, they don't usually have brown tea, do they? In Japan. Is that what it is? Like a dark brown tea? Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray, it's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. She said Japanese instead of Nipponese. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley? Hurley? Do you? Hurley? Right, chai or imagine the world not being introduced to chai tea. I don't like saying chai tea, but like, I love chai. Imagine the world not being introduced to green tea either. Wild. Mr. Sholmes. They literally only drink like green and oolong in this area, I think. Don't quote me. I think so too. I think you're right. Mr. Sholmes is a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. That like electronic sound that happens at the end of the song, sorta, or like when the song loops. It sounds like a Pokemon. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? It was 100 years ago. I don't think it was that age. I think it was like, teas were a luxury item for the longest time. They weren't like as like widely available, I would say, like it is today. They're a luxury if they aren't from your country. So I could imagine like they have not had like a brown tea before. I mean, literally we have the fucking tea party in America not that long before this. It's amazing what can happen in 100 years. It's amazing what can happen in 20 years. You know what I mean? So like, I think it was probably seen as a luxury. Did she deduce all those things, do you think? And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? Right, and India's an English colony, so of course they're getting the chai. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I knew it! I knew it! I was like, this is Wilson. I live here together with Hurley. Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name was Wilson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. What are your names? What are your names? I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely, Susie and Runo. Runo? Susie and Runo. That sounds like a Pokemon. Got it. Like in the background. Susie. And Runo. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start. I love a pink character with heart themes. I love it. Yes, and so do I. Should I? I'm a lawyer. Could I show you this? She has no interest. Oh man. Damn it. She didn't say anything. I really don't want to look up around the room. Is there something worth looking around the room? I really don't want to read dialogue for the There's a skull. There's like that. That's kind of interesting. None for our girl Iris. She's supposed to be Watson, but they localized to Wilson. She's Wilson. Wait, that's so cute! Cute! This is her side. Because most characters are either Holmes names or real ass people. Yeah, our client is a real person too. Soseki Natsume is a real person. Tobias Gregson is also the stories. Great lover of fish and chips. Mood. She's 10? Oh, she's like maybe. I mean, I guess she is. That makes sense. Alright, let's talk to her. Iris. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey? Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. I'm scared if I talk too high. I know it cuts me out when I talk too high. And I don't know why. Microphones... I don't know. I don't know why it does that. I'm like too high of decibels, I guess, when I talk higher pitched. Oh, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. This one. Like this? She literally did say this one? I'm hydrating. Ah, thinking about it now. Eee! Yeah. Thinking about it now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't ya? Oh yeah, that awkward witness. Gina Lestrade. Oh, Ginny? Yeah, she's a professional pickpocket. Oh, we found out. It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Are you referring to that trial disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly, so I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. This girl is dangerous. Her hair's like a bow, too. I think that's so cute. Very Lady Gaga. 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 Thank you, Ina, for the sub for 19 months. That's a long time. That's a long time. Thank you, Ina. That's a really long time. Anyways, I brought Ginny back here after that so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Who's the technician? Sorry, your technician. Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley. Did I write this game's dialogue? Herlock Sholmes, we live here together. I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? No. What is your relationship? Well, I expect you have found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. Your roommates. I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year. Well, what of your mother and father? Oh no, they're not around. I see. I wonder what the story is there. Wilson. Oh yeah, there's something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rand's magazine. Magazine. Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories. Teehee, that's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author. Yeah, I'll let you in on a little secret if you like. I'm going to call this latest adventure the Speckled Bond. The Speckled Bond. That's certainly very familiar. Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. That's funny, actually. Oh, that was Mr. Sholm's first thought as well, actually. Yes, and of course, I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say, are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Ranster magazine all written by me? Yeah, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson. Susada-san's getting more and more worked up. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? Don't meet your heroes, kid. That's all true, too. I'm a doctor of medicine. At 10 years old? At 10 years old! Well, that's quite incredible. But Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the settings slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. I suppose it does, yeah. Where's Susada-san? She looks like her whole world was just falling apart. About before. Yes, what's on your mind? What's on your mind, Runo? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted, although there's really no mystery. Now let's begin. Stop, that's so cute. Iris Wilson is proud to present her logic and reasoning spectacular. I'm gonna lose my mind, I think, actually. First of all, I knew already that you're a lawyer, Bruno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in defendant's antechamber. Don't worry, Iris is actually smart. You said that we only just arrived in London. How'd you know that? Look at what you're fucking wearing. Do you think people in Britain, Great Britain, are wearing this? I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh. So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me he really is just a vampire. Like, what the fuck? Like, why is he standing like that? Telling me you were a... Is it just suggested, or is it, like, actually lore-accurate vampire? But don't... Maybe if you answer that, don't... If it's a spoiler. You're unaware of London's court affairs. The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right in that one, didn't I? Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited a local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. Ah. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. There's not really a fantasy element. That's what I was wondering, because I was like, have they ever done fantasy in Ace Attorney in general? I didn't realize. And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. They're so cute. Like, these are precious little beans. Oh shit, wait. The spirit channeling. Herm. I forgot about the spirit channeling a little bit. God, I hated that low-key though. Sometimes I had to look it up how to do them because I'm just so bad at it. And then the Apollo Justice one, it's like fucking my magnifying glass. I'm like, I'm losing my mind. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilden, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was not likely to be a friend or a relative. That lets me believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. How could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? He told me. Having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. Obviously amused him, he told me that he caught a Japanese man who's bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been our client. Mr. Natsume. Now, Runo has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. Her little backpack charms are fucking cute. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He's silly. He's a silly, goofy mood. He is a silly goose. And that's all there was to it, really. Can't believe I have to stitch the VODs together. I'm so... It's gonna take forever to export. Don't think I have time to upload it tomorrow. We'll see. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Also, reminder, I will not be streaming tomorrow because I gotta pick up a friend. So, I'm probably gonna stream Sunday. I think that's the plan. She is much smarter. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. I mean, I would have been immediately like, you're wearing a fucking kimono. But, you know. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed to discern something of a Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please? Case of the Japanese man. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying? Yes! Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems. Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking stooped man running away from the scene. Racist. A short, shifty-looking stooped man. Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. Saseki-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. It seems there were witnesses after all. Hurley used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. It's a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stooped man shivering in fear. Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He's a great detective. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow's too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime. Oh, Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh, dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Saseki-san. We have got, like, no evidence. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. It's been very informative. Oh, she's so cute. You're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Natsume? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Oh, Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Ah, goody. In that case, give Grexy this for me, would ya? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. Card for Inspector Gregson with a message on the back. It reads, tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Oh, this will make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Oh, this is a long episode, huh? Because we actually get to investigate. Good luck, then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. I kind of gave up on giving her a British accent. I'm so sorry. I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back soon. Is there any Easter eggs in the background? We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. Is it a save pot? Okay, it is a save. Ha! I was gonna save anyways. How did it know? How did it know? So this is where my audio got muted, I guess because I was using Professor Layton music. So I just had a lot of problems, I guess, with stream today. But thank y'all for watching this VOD if you're here, and I will see y'all on the next VOD. Bye-bye!